Hi guys, KO here. Welcome to Turmeric and Tequila, where we are working to inspire positive, radical social evolution. I cannot believe it. This is episode 100. I am so blown away. You know I'm excited to be here because we always are, but it's crazy. It's just going to be you and I today. I'm going to tell a quick story that really has kept me in line and kind of inspired most of my life moves. It's a story that I think everybody really needs to hear, all ages, all whatever. It's a good one to keep in your back pocket. And then I'm going to give a top 10 list of life lessons that I've known, I've had to relearn, but have really been highlighted through podcasting. So some quick little pro-life tips, I want to say, but mostly just a moment to pause, say thank you, and just share the lessons I've learned thus far. So I hope it's valuable for you and inspires you to seek out whatever creative journey you are on. Thank you so much for all of the support and everything you guys have done for Turmeric and Tequila. I cannot wait for 100 more. Don't forget to like and subscribe and check us out on YouTube. We have all the videos coming at you. Cheers.
Welcome to Turmeric and Tequila with your host, Kristen Olson. Questioning a better way, one gracefully disruptive conversation at a time.
Hey guys, welcome to Turmeric and Tequila. I am ecstatic today. It is our 100th episode. I literally cannot believe it, but I'm so excited to be here and to share in this moment with you. I can't believe we're still trucking and going. I mean, I can't believe it, and we're in it for the long haul, so we'll see you in 200, 300, and so on, but we're going to celebrate this 100 right now and jump in. It's just you and I today. I'm going to share a quick story that's literally amazing for anyone of all ages. It's something I keep in my back pocket at all times. I heard as a kiddo, and it stuck with me through adulthood, using air quotes. And then I'm going to share a top 10 list of life lessons that podcasting has re-highlighted into my world. These are 10 things I think that you should keep in your back pocket as well. It doesn't matter if you're 6, 10, 70, whatever. These are some things that we need to reflect on and maintain in our world. So without further ado, I'm going to jump right into this story. And I heard this in elementary school. I believe it was from a motivational speaker or something my parents signed up for at our shout out to Creekside Elementary. And a guy came in, I think it was like once a week for like 6 weeks. Anyways, I don't really remember the details, but it was amazing. I loved the activities every week. So I was always here, I think, for constant human improvement, even as a kiddo. But the story goes, there was this man that was a great artist. He, I think he had some troubles along the way, but he was super, super talented and not a lot of people knew about it. He spent a lot of time painting these $20 bills and used them as counterfeit money. And it worked for a long time. And then one day he was buying some turnips from the grocery store. And, sometimes when you go to buy the fruits or vegetables, and I don't know why it was turnips. I don't know if that's significant to the story or not. I always thought that was really weird, but he was buying turnips and the water on the turnips were on his fingers. So when he went to go ring up, his hands were still wet and he went to use the counterfeit $20 bill, and some of the ink of the bill wore on the dollar and the $20 bill, and the cash register person came over, and long story short, he was arrested for using counterfeit money. And then I never really connected on how they got to go search the guy's house, because that's clearly illegal, unless there was something else bigger going on, but not the point of the story. They went to go search this guy's house and find out, what he was about, or there was some other lead, something. And when they went to his house, they found these paintings that were worth millions of dollars. And they were blown away that he was wasting his time painting $20 bills when he had these $1 million paintings. So even though the story is a little bit, you're grasping at straws, you get the moral of the story. The point is really, you really don't need to be wasting your time painting $20 bills when you have $1 million paintings in your house. Meaning, follow your heart, do what you want to do. Don't just settle for something that's good enough right now when you have this big, huge, giant talent that can, make you a lot of money or impact the world positively or whatever it is. So take that time to really figure out what it is you want to do it the right way, and lean into that talent. We all have that ability to have those $1 million paintings. So don't waste your time on, little small, silly projects that probably aren't serving you. That is a super hard lesson to grasp as a young human. It's something I've had to learn so many times, but it's really cool to reflect on my middle or elementary school self and be like, that made sense to me then, and it makes sense to me at 40 now. And there's so many times where I'm like, I was painting $20 bills when I was dimming the light and I could have been doing, this big, huge project or had this amount of impact. And I was standing in the background or putting energy towards something that didn't really matter when there was this big, huge opportunity or talent that had been, stayed covered and stayed hidden. So find your $1 million situation and be aware of it and lean into it. And like I said, don't waste time painting $20 bills. So there's that little tidbit. It's one of my favorite stories. You can say turnips or broccoli or whatever. I always just kept it with turnips. I still don't get that, but I kind of like that it's that. That might even be the new food of the decade coming up. Who knows? So you heard it here at first on Turmeric and Tequila. But I want to share also 10 life lessons. I'm here for a top 10 list. This really isn't in any particular order. These are meaningful to me, all of them, but I think they'll be meaningful in certain order to other people. But I'll let you pull them and rank them yourself. Number 1, community is essential. Who you surround yourself is everything. This is absolutely a lesson I've continued to learn and will continue to learn. Keep your varsity humans around you. Let go some of the ones that aren't serving you. Sometimes they circle back, sometimes they don't. But I really do believe everybody comes in your life for a reason. They're just not always meant to stay there forever. And the ones that are, they do. They stick around. So keep your good peeps around you. It is a game changer. And you will see when you have positive humans around you, your mindset, your energy stays positive, opportunity comes in, things just change. So I really think if you're ever looking to make one quick change, look at the people you're around and then adjust accordingly if need be. Number 2, do a job that you're passionate about. Don't overlook the passion. I know everybody says, find something you'll love, you'll never work a day. That's really hard when you're starting out. So you got to just do the hustle, get the paychecks, as a young human. But as you move on, don't overlook how much that passion piece matters, because even if you're making millions and you don't care about it or goes against your core values, you will be miserable. And every dollar that you're making that's making you rich, you're probably going to be spending on therapy or worse, into alcohol or something that's probably going to wind you down a road you don't want to be. So lean into that passion and cling to it, because it will keep you going. Even when the job's hard, if you love it, you'll be all right. If you're making a bunch of money and you hate it and you don't want to be there, that will inevitably show. Number 3, this was a really big one for me. Identify your core values and let them lead the way. I formally did this with like a life coach so we could unpack what it was. And when I revealed it, I was like, oh, duh, I knew what they were. Number 1, honesty. Number 2, independence. And number 3, creativity. We did like top 10. But those 3 have continued to come back into my life. And I will even say like, oh, this job opportunity or this friendship or relationship or whatever is this, and this. I'm like, does this align with my core values? And as cheesy as that sounds, it has made some decisions moving forward or attracting or whatever really, really clear. So take some time. You don't always have to do a formal process, but just sit and think about like what's really, really important. Write down 3 things that are like non-negotiables. And I bet you that will help steer some of your bigger decisions that are in your life right now or coming your way soon. Number 4, step away from home. I'm a huge family person. I love my family. They're wild and crazy. I'm for sure an apple that does not fall far from the tree. But the point of this is my lessons where I've learned the most. I've gone away and lived away, for college or visited other countries and stayed with families, seeing how other people live their life and their day-to-day rituals and how they interpret the world. It's amazing to bring some of that back into your home or into, wherever you land, and having that diversified perspective on so many levels, obviously race, gender, socioeconomic status, sexual orientation, all of that, and just how somebody cooks a meal differently or how they approach their morning routine or whatever. You can just gain so many what I call varsity life pro tips from people that don't look like you or don't, even if they do look like you, live somewhere else, and just approach life differently. It's so cool to gain that perspective and just see how other people live, because how you're doing it is probably not the most best way. In fact, it's not. And there's other people, and collectively we can kind of get all of our shit together and see how other people live, ultimately finding that we're all really not that different. Newsflash, breaking news. Number 5, constantly keep learning. Stay curious. I say young-minded, aka Botox the mind. Curiosity, I don't think it killed the cat. That is, I don't know what's going on there, but I think that's why the cat had 9 lives, because it was constantly innovating and moving forward and changing its routine. I don't know. Cats always land on their feet, but that's actually more of an ear function. So we'll stay out of the anatomy and physiology. But curiosity, I think, is king. You stay in the mix, you learn stuff. Things are changing so fast in this world. You will be replaced by a 7-year-old if you're in the IT or tech world. So stay in the mix. And it's really cool. Like, just like getting away from home, stay out there, be around young people, be around older people that are on, the trend-setting tip of what's happening next, and just stay in the mix of, oh, how do you do that? What's going on? Of just constantly learning. I've had to do this with all things podcasting, digital. I mean, my audio engineer, shout out Theon, knows we started from a very, very humble space. So we're still growing. And that's, again, where you loop back to keeping good people around you because they'll tell you the truth. Number 6, your dream job and or life may not exist. This was something that really worked to my advantage, just my personality, where I kind of had plans and goals. Like, I think you need to be intentional about what you want. And you need to just have that balance of letting go and let it just happen, and know that, okay, I love, being on audio. I love creating. I love telling the truth or whatever. And 20 years from now, podcasting is going to be a thing. If you told my high school self, you're going to be a podcaster, I'd be like, what? No, spin the wheel again. I don't even know what that is because it's not a thing. So if you're out there and you've got your passion, you're leaning into it, and maybe what you're going to do isn't even a thing yet. Even if you're, over 40, things, again, are shape shifting, changing. The pandemic just happened, innovation's happening. It might be right on time. So again, cling to those core values and that passion. Something that you're perfectly built for might just be right on the way, and you're going to be right on time. Keep your heart and mind open on that. Number 7, that's kind of goes with that, but plan and have goals and trust the process, AKA surrender. Be intentional, as I just said, know that things are happening, but really, I keep in the back of my mind, this came from one of my podcasts, shout out to Liz. It's all in motion. Things are all on time. You got to show up. You got to be intentional. And you just got to know that things are in motion and it's going to work in your favor if you can keep your vibes right, keep good people in your life, and just keep showing up. So there you go. Trust that process. Number 8, boundaries are real. Continuing learning experience for me. I add, take care of you and then everybody else. We all know the hashtag self-care at this point. It's beat to death, but it needs to be talked about even more, in addition to mental health and wellness. And again, going back to that first one of keeping really great people that serve you around you. Like, know when your boundaries are real, or when you just need a break, or when you can let some of the walls down and let people in. It works both ways. It's not just about shutting people off, but recognizing how you feel about things and being able to put up, a boundary and say, I need space, or this isn't working for me, and or letting people in, saying, I really appreciate this perspective. I'm down for your coaching, for your affection, whatever, and letting people in. I think people forget about the opposite side of, or lack of boundaries, meaning in a positive way, like the antonym. I don't really know what that'd be, but we'll just say open heart, open mind. Number 9, never dim your light or be okay standing in the back. As obnoxious and as loud as I am, this was one of my things for a while, where I was just kind of okay being in the background and doing my thing. And I was ultimately dimming the light. And podcasting has been such a great platform for me to quite literally use my voice. But go out there, be in the mix. Don't be okay standing in the back. Use your voice, lean in, just have enough gumption to say what you got to say. And at very minimum, if you're in a situation that doesn't feel right and you don't want to say something, have the ability to take yourself out of it, because that just being in it is dimming the light. And just like the story I started with, where you're painting $20 bills, that situation that's keeping you back or keeping you in the mindset of painting $20 bills versus going big and selling your $1 million art or chasing the dream is holding you back. So maybe that initial, stepping into the light is really just stepping away from a situation that's not serving you. But embrace that light. That will guide everything. Number 10, just start. It doesn't have to be perfect. And honestly, it's just not that serious. So go out there, do it, press record. Obviously, this entire turmeric and tequila situation has been a growing process, and I'm so excited to see where it goes. It started very rough, and there are still very rough moments. I am critical on how I sound or things that I say, and even that's okay. I give some space and grace on myself as an evolving podcast host, and I'm reaching for higher strides and goals and things, in addition to just surrendering and letting it be. As long as I'm having fun and I really feel like it's purposeful, it's amazing. I clearly started this to offer anything that I've learned from the world. And in turn, I've learned so much about myself, about people I've interviewed, and the community as a whole. It's been extraordinarily amazing and impactful in my world. And I am so deeply grateful to be part of the podcast community and to have every single interaction that I've ever had with anyone that has to do with podcasting, even if it's just somebody listening or commenting on the apparel that, they don't know it's a podcast and they might not even care, but they're here for turmeric and they're here for tequila. So you are automatically tribe. So just press play and let it be. As Chris from Podfest says, just start ugly and let it be and evolve from there. What a great metaphor for life. I do have to say thank you a million times over. There has been so many great humans that have been supportive, from, encouragement to audio help, like literally hands on the deck, to just listeners and people that are wearing the gear and sharing on social media, and the positive feedback, the reviews. Every little piece has been absolutely soul fuel for me and has kept me going on the days when it gets really hard and you're kind of wondering if people are listening or if this is worthwhile. Something always happens and kind of brings me back into it. So I'm 100% here for the long haul, but I would never be able to do this without the support of the community and everybody that's had a hand in making this move forward. I have to say a specific thank you to Theon, my audio engineer. He listens to every cast. He's a supporter on social. He obviously is a phenomenal audio human that knows how to make miracles from whatever I send him. And he has just done an amazing job. And you got to check out their show. It's his multitude of shows, his business. Check out everything he has going on. I got to say thank you to Fade. He does all of our basically computer everything, technology. He is the wizard behind the curtain, helping the website and everything else. So check out Fade. Both of their links are on my website under team. See what they have going on. They're extraordinary humans, and I'm so blessed that I've crossed paths with them. I got to say thank you to the pod family, everybody that's in podcasting. I appreciate our social media groups, the Facebook group, everybody that's pulled me into anything that's supportive around podcasting. There's so much we're all learning, from audio to marketing to, friends and networking. And it's so much, and it's new to a lot of us. And it's so many passion driven humans. Very few of us are making money off this at this point. So it's super, super pure. And I love it right now. I really do. I hope everybody's a millionaire, whatever their heart desires. But for right now, the pure intentions around it are just an absolutely gorgeous thing. Chris at Podfest, that's where I met many of my podcasting humans, and that have continued to be like partners in the game to this day. And that was over, I think, a year ago. So everybody that was at that event and continues to show up at all the Podfest and podcasting situations, it's amazing to stay connected with you. And I'm so blessed that you had crossed paths with me at that event, because that was really a game changer in my podcasting world. I have to say a very special thank you to every single guest that has come on and taken time and energy out of their day. I don't think there's a single cast that's less than a half an hour. Most of them are hours plus. So for you to show up, come on this thing called Turmeric and Tequila, believe in it, spend your time and energy, have some laughs and hopefully some tequila with me. That was probably the greatest gift you really can give another person. So from the bottom of my heart, I just want to let you know that I'm so deeply grateful for your time and energy. And every single cast obviously has been downloaded. So our conversation has been heard. And I hope that it has supplemented your heart and soul in some capacity, because if you showed up and had an important conversation with me, you are at minimum deserving of that. A lot of people ask, how can we support Turmeric and Tequila? What's next? What's going on? The biggest thing you can do for us right now is write a review, share some feedback. Let me know what you like, what you don't like. And this is going to continue to be an evolving process, but I deeply support. If you're inclined to get some merch and rock the brand, that's like pure soul fuel for me. But really the reviews, or telling a friend, not even as a recommendation, but if there is, a kiddo that's questioning a better way as far as training or how to do a morning routine, and you can recommend the cast from a solution standpoint, that is an amazing compliment for Turmeric and Tequila and our entire team. That's why we're here. That's what it's all about. We'll let all the business and the money and everything else figure it out. We're really here for the cause and the impact. So leave a review. Let us know what you're thinking. Stay engaged. I absolutely love the community around all of this. And I can't wait to see how it grows and what's next, and what we can further gracefully disrupt and inspire positive, radical social evolution. Thank you for joining me. I appreciate all the time and energy across the board. Here's a little champagne. Cheers to 100 more, 2, 3, 4. Who knows where it's going to go? But I appreciate you and am deeply grateful for everything and can't wait to see you next. Cheers.
Thank you for joining Turmeric and Tequila with your host, Kristen Olson. Tune in next time, and don't forget to subscribe on Apple, Google Podcasts, Spotify, or wherever you listen.